Have you ever found a cool-looking rock and wondered what it would look like polished up? Well, today we're digging into exactly that. We're exploring the world of lapidary. That's the art of turning rough stones into gleaming gems, all through the story of a really passionate community, the Columbia Gem and Mineral Society.
So yeah, that's the big question, right? You're out on a hike, you pick up a stone, it looks kind of dull, but you know there's something beautiful inside. How do you get from point A to point B? From a rough rock in your hand to a stunning gem in a piece of jewelry? Let's get into it. The answer, my friends, is lapidary. And it is absolutely an art form. It takes skill, a whole lot of patience, and a little bit of science to know what you're working with. This craft is really the glue that holds this whole community we're talking about together. All right, so where does all this magic happen? It happens in the workshop. For the Columbia Gem and Mineral Society, or CGMS as we'll call them, the workshop isn't just a room with tools. It's the club's creative heart, the place where the real hands-on work gets done. So picture this. You've got your rough stone. First, you take it to a big diamond saw to slice it open and see what you're really working with. Then, you trim it down to a basic shape. After that, it's all about refinement, using a series of grinding and sanding wheels, going from coarse to super fine to get that perfect, smooth shape, what's called a cabochon. And the final touch? Polishing it on a special wheel to get that incredible, brilliant shine. Now, this quote here is a really important piece of the club's story. It's from their newsletter back in 2019, and it marks the moment they had to leave their longtime workshop on Frink Street in Casey. That's pronounced KC. It was a huge challenge, for sure, but it also really highlighted the resilience of this group as they started looking for what was next. And that search is still going on. Right now, all that essential lapidary equipment has a temporary home, but the big goal for the club is to find a permanent spot. You know, one place where they can have their workshop, hold their meetings, and host lectures. It's a huge part of their journey right now. But hold on. Before you can cut or polish anything, you need the rocks. So let's back up a step. Let's talk about the adventure of actually going out and finding these incredible materials for yourself. And this is where it gets really fun. The club organizes field trips all over the place. I mean, you can go hunt for amethyst right here in South Carolina, head to North Carolina to look for corundum, that's the mineral that gives us rubies and sapphires, or even dig for ancient plant fossils in Tennessee. It's an incredible perk of being a member. And this is not a sit-on-the-sidelines kind of hobby. You got to get out there with your rock hammers, your digging tools, and of course, your buckets to haul back all your finds. It's about getting your hands dirty and really connecting with the geology of the area. So you've got the craft, you've got the thrill of the hunt, but the most important piece of the puzzle is the people. Lapidary and rock hounding are passions that are just so much better when they're shared, and that's really what the Columbia Gem and Mineral Society is all about. At its heart, CGMS is a nonprofit educational organization. Their entire mission is to get people excited about earth sciences, whether it's mineralogy, paleontology, or the lapidary arts. And the best part is, they welcome anyone who's curious and wants to learn. And they are definitely doing something right because this community is growing. I mean, just look at these numbers. They've gone from around 80 members 10 years ago to over 130 today. It just shows you how much passion there is for this stuff. The club holds monthly meetings, and they are fantastic. They bring in speakers to talk about a huge range of topics. One month you might have someone like Ron Ahl, that's pronounced Ron A-L, talking about volcanoes. And the next it could be a deep dive into Antarctic fossils or even silversmithing. And anyone who's interested is welcome to come and check it out. Okay, so we've covered the craft, the field trips, and the amazing community. But there's one event where all of this comes together in a huge way. It's their annual showcase, and it really gives you a look at what the future holds for the club. Every November, right there in Columbia, the club puts on its annual Gem, Mineral, and Jewelry Show. And when I say it's a big deal, I mean it's a big deal. They've had over 1,200 people attend in recent years. It's the perfect opportunity for the public to see what this world is all about. The show is just incredible. There are dealers from all over the country. You can watch live lapidary demonstrations, and my favorite part, you can buy a geode and have them cut it open right there, so you're the first person in history to see the crystals inside. It's a fantastic event for the whole family, and everyone is invited. And this brings us back to their journey. Finding a permanent home is key to their future. You know, for 50 years, the club held its meetings at the McKissick Museum. But since the pandemic, they've had to find other places. So now they're on a mission to find one central spot to be the home for their meetings, their lectures, and of course, that all-important workshop. Okay, this next part is really, really important, so listen up. Because the club is meeting in different spots each month and the workshop situation is temporary, you can't rely on old information. Things change. So if you see an old newsletter, just know that the details might be out of date. Your one single source of truth for the latest, most current information is the official club website.
So what do you think? Are you ready to start your own journey from field to find? If you want to go to a meeting, find out the latest on the workshop, or get details for the big annual show, it all starts at one place, their website, www.cgms.rocks. That's your hub for everything. Go check it out.